1.5 room, huh?
Yo, I just came in here to figure out how y'all got the Toronto first lady get the battery ran on her by Adam. What's poppin',
Oh
yo?
no.
Yo,
Oh
somebody from
no.
the six got to answer that.
Oh no.
I asked everybody. I even asked Drake. Yeah, somebody got to answer.
You let her
Holy shit,
You name
dog.
like that.
let her do that,
What
man.
you?
Oh
Holy
shit.
shit, fam.
Yo, press. What we talking about?
What you saying, Ack? What you saying, Curl?
Yo, ask
Yo,
Ben, fam.
I need to know who the next first lady of Toronto, man.
Fuck yeah. As of now, we gotta just let fucking
Axe scouting. Axe scouting.
Hey.
Who's that? Lady SB?
profile.
What's up, baby?
Lady
I just
SB?
interviewed her.
Hey, what's the song from the city for the year? Talk to me.
You
Movie.
know the
Attachment.
song, the
Movie.
same fucking song
Easy.
that's on your Spotify.
Easy.
I
That's the
know
song.
attachments, but is that too mainstream? Is there another one I'm missing?
Northside Benji dropped the hardest tape of 2021 in Toronto.
Holy.
Yeah, that's period. That's the only thing. Still, that's the only thing tape wise. Then we had the Gardner Express Deluxe that dropped this year too. Then we got
But
fucking
he's asking what's
When
the
you gonna
hardest
get
song.
Benji up to my podcast, man? Spotify waiting for him.
yeah, you're right. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're
We
gonna get it.
talking
Wait.
Michael's bag. That's what we talking about. This shit's
Oh my
easy.
god, this guy
That's what
came
we
out.
talking about.
Is that
Yo,
Moolah?
Ack, you gotta bring
That's the record
Michael.
of the year. Act
Yo,
easy.
I'm gonna be honest. You know, I be like watching. I be preying stuff on the low. Niggas tell me that Moolah is getting hot in the city, man.
That's
Yeah, no one can stand on the stage with me. Come on. No one can stand on the stage with me over here, man.
Well, yo, what do you got
Come
her
on
hot
now.
for though,
I
Crody?
gotta
Yo,
go. I
Crody,
gotta
but
go.
yo,
I gotta go
why
get
you
back to
getting
my
hot,
work so I
Crody?
don't end up like Pressa, a
What?
feature man. You know what I'm saying? I just popped in real quick just to show you
But yo, you
easy,
never even
in
made it
case
to
you
any
never heard
level
it.
to go back to
Okay?
anything.
That's all
You
I came
never
in here
made
to
it out the
say.
mud to
But none
go
of these
back to
guys
the
can't
mud.
stand on the stage with me. You see what
Yo,
I'm
you
Crody,
saying?
you never made it out the mud to
All
go
right
back
now.
and fall off. You
you need
never
to
made it
get
nowhere
1,000
to
views
fall
for
off.
Bula. I'm sorry, brother.
The man's cutting, fam. You never made it nowhere to fall off. Like
He needs to
these
get
are the shit that the man are praising in the
Yo,
city.
dog. Holy fuck.
Hey,
Like how the fuck are you
I just
saying you're
want to.
going back somewhere and you never even went on Press's level? You never even been on Pyrex level. Holy fuck. Like you never even been on no sort of level to go back to no sort of anywhere. You're
he
still
only
in
has
Rexdale.
20,000
You
market.
never left. The guy's talking about credit and he's talking about vacations. Then the man never been on a vacation for 10 years. He's talking about he does credit and vacations. I never seen a man go on a vacation in 10 years.
One
Since
thing,
I know this kid, he never left Rexdale, fam. I never even seen him leave the province. I never seen him, oh, I'm in Vancouver, or oh, I'm in Calgary, or oh, I'm in Edmonton. That guy didn't even go to Montreal. Like, Cody, just drive to Montreal. It's 6 hours. At least drive there. Go look a weekend vacation. Like, you didn't even do that. Like, you don't even leave the city talking about, yo, credit and vacations. Like, what's your credit score? These
Yo,
guys
Ak,
don't
let
even
me
have
ask
a
you a quick
credit score.
question.
Yo,
What's your
What?
song of the year for 2021 for Toronto rappers?
I already told
What's
you the song. Numbers. Fucking act song, bro.
yo, Friday.
What else song am I gonna choose? The same
what's
song
your
that.
song of the year
Yo,
for
my nigga,
2021 for
listen right
Toronto?
now. If you go to Act, okay, Act, yo, Act, you told me this, right? You have the biggest platform for rap in America. Obviously, there's the shade room, but it's gossip. But when it comes to rap, you make and break niggas. Correct. Cool. So obviously, you know what the fuck's going on in this music industry, right? Correct. Cool. When we did the Spotify, whatever, the year, whatever the case may be, in your top single songs, I seen Press's name attachment was there, fam. So
Yeah,
that just speaks volumes.
nah, I
You guys
spit
have
the fuck
the
out of that too, man. That shit is hot, man. I just want to
Academics.
say, man, first
Academics.
of all, yo,
Quick
salute
question.
to 6 solid in here, but I just want to say, I just came in this room to really just show support. Y'all know, like Toronto, like my favorite city that I'm not from, so I love all y'all in here, so I want to see all y'all win. So really, I could
Hey
Shout
do.
out
yo,
Academics.
academics interview, fam.
Act
Act
yo,
forward for
Casper
the interview.
TNG, yo.
Already
You
got
need to
it.
go Google Casper
You gotta pull up
TNG
on We
right
Love
now.
Hip Hop for that interview.
That's what you need to go do.
Of
You need to
course,
go Google
I see,
Casper TNG,
man.
find out who I
I
am.
see Vlad say he got some shit coming with you, and of course,
Yeah, man. Come on,
Wheeler
man.
does
No,
too.
Ack knows.
I'm
Ack's
home,
hip to
man.
the
Yo,
city. He knows who the fuck came home. He knows Casper is the
come
hardest
on, man.
rapper to
Come
come
on.
home this
Come
year.
on, Greek. My nigga, come on, man. You don't worry. You're gonna be hearing about me 2022, man. Come on, man. I came home bus again. You don't know I'm coming.
Yo, academics, quick question before you bounce. I heard you talk in one of your previous podcasts that one of your labels that you're signed to gave you a budget to sign artists. Would you ever consider exercising that in the Toronto scene? Have you seen any talent that catches your eyes?
Besides Chosen.
Yeah, I mean, no, I would absolutely do it. You know, I think when I think about just signing artists though, and I look at it from a different perspective than you guys, right? Because like, you know, the reason why I love like I just come in here to listen because it's like I cover hip hop on such a large scale that you forgot what it's like to care about what's going on in a particular city, you know? So just hearing you guys like, you know what I mean, whether it's little arguments or, you know, just kind of having some pride about your city, that's dope. But like for me, if I was gonna sign an artist, I'm looking at an artist. I don't care where you from. As long as you could, I want the biggest artist. I want an artist that could cross over. So you know, it's like whether the artist is from Toronto, Ohio, shit. The artist could be from the UK. I want the artist to be able to relate to the masses in the U.S. because you know I report charts every week. The charts we report is a U.S. based charts. You know what I mean? So it's all about for me an artist I would sign, say from Toronto. It would matter if that artist's music could cross over and translate. You know what I mean? And it don't mean you
Hmm.
like switch up and become some other person. I think people realize that now you could have your own swag and that shit could still translate. So it would be about any artist that could really translate.
Ditch the light beer. Step into the dark with a Kraken and ginger beer instead.
Appreciate the answer, man. Thank you for the insight. I mean, we all
Yeah, Ak, we got to tap in for a full interview and talk to you on the podcast. Get the academic story and what's going on now with the podcast, everything that you got going on.
Yeah. Friday. I tap into your shit without. I'm trying to figure out, like, you know what I mean. You put me on a bad artist in the Toronto scene. You know what I mean. Obviously, you know I feel like I'm cool with a lot of the ones who are kind of like really popping, but like I like to hear about the up and coming ones because, you know, like even this whole hip hop shit. Despite what city or whatever we talking about, like not all the time you see the same faces at the top, and sometimes people get too big and you know cross over or whatever. Or sometimes you know what I mean. Like I think this year, like for example, like top five was having a run, then you know some unfortunate shit happened. So you know, again, they always say one monkey don't stop the show. So it's not like music just ceases to exist after that. You know, there's always going to be new faces, new buzz. You know what I mean, new waves, and I love it. Yeah, I love everything coming from the city.
You said something kind of interesting in the last couple of podcasts. You said the labels look at it these days as I'm not going to worry about if this guy's going to be hot because I'm going to sign 10 of these guys. And if one of these guys hit, they're going to replace all of these guys that hit. Can you speak a bit about on that? Because you didn't really like that from what I heard from.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll give an example, and I think shout out to Press if he's on there. But like, all right, so I have a joint venture, right? And you know, by just some of the very powerful people in the music industry when they're explaining how they look at artists, or they look at a region, they look at a sound, they look at anything that kind of has a group in, right? They're like, yo, we're gonna just sign a bunch of them, but really we want one person. As long as one of them succeeds and like really hits, it pays for the other 10 we sign. So it's like one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like put it like this, hip hop and how money goes when it comes to the labels, and obviously y'all have the polys or whatever, but like when Pressa blows up, they want to sign 30 niggas from Canada. That's just how it goes.
Mm.
It's like
So
it
Facts.
that
becomes
be
Facts.
it becomes proof of oh shit, this Canadian sound or whatever could actually go. So it's one of those things where like I know for me, like I'm relating to just what you guys got going on there, but like for me. it's an interesting mindset because like it's more about quantity. But for like you guys who are trying to, you know what I mean, again, you guys want to compete with the global scene, right? Like that's a good thing for y'all because now there's more opportunities, right? So as long as one person make it out the bubble, there's always going to be, you know what I mean, more opportunities for other people. And obviously if the talent's there, you know what I mean, I always tell artists like, no matter what going on, y'all got to make sure y'all not doing dumb stuff and also be prepared with the music because at the end of the day, it's always going to be the music. You know what I mean? So,
Mm,
and as long as that happens, I think going into 2022, I think it's probably going to be more opportunities than ever for Toronto artists. So it's like I think it's a very positive thing for if you're in the city right now and you're trying to make music and you're probably just maybe right now you're only thinking about kind of getting lit within like your little region or whatever, and then eventually just getting lit throughout the whole city. That quickly could turn into all of a sudden, I mean, you have 20 labels on your line trying to fly you out to New York, LA because they're tuned in. I'm telling you this right now, they're tuned in. So
mm,
that's a good thing. And, it's about keeping the music scene thriving, you know what I mean? And, obviously like this COVID shit probably doesn't help stuff too much. But, I'm telling you right now, like compared to the visibility of the Canadian, or I'll just say Toronto music scene, as it relates to how U.S. labels and hip hop treats it, it's way more. It's probably exponentially grown from a year ago. So that's a good place I think for all y'all to be in. You know what I mean? And
mm,
like for me, I remember one of the reasons why obviously there's some cultural similarity. I was born in Jamaica, if y'all don't know, so there's some cultural similarity between a lot of how like Toronto culture is because obviously there's a mix of like Somalians and Jamaicans and it's just it's kind of like a melting pot a little bit. So obviously I kind of was drawn to that, but one of the main reasons I was drawn to like the music there is that like rawness and authentic shit always gets the people. You know what I mean? Like in its best form and its worst form. For example, like Chicago drill, like that's you could call it one of the worst forms of authenticity, but it was authentic. It's always gonna get people who want to hear some shit that just seems unfiltered, who want to hear some shit that just seems real to whatever the lifestyle is of that particular, what I mean, like neighborhood or like region. So that's what kind of, what I mean, brought me in. I'm like, yo, damn, like it's different from US shit, but like I could tell it's authentic to them. We have the same
mm,
we have a lot of that too with like, a lot of the music coming out of the UK as well. But what I see y'all doing in Toronto, I think people are being more drawn into that and it's growing for y'all. And obviously you have some of the biggest people in music that's from that region. I think everybody's just looking to our region to be like, yo, we got to give these guys an opportunity. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this shit's gonna change and like kind of ramp up in the next year. But I think it's a good place right now for Toronto music. I'm gonna be honest.
Facts.
Well, we thank you for your words of wisdom, man, and we always appreciate you in here. So whenever you can drop by, man, much appreciated. So thanks a lot, academic. Lucas, got
Yeah.
any questions there? Or Friday? Friday?
Quick question about shows. We were having a conversation on the last Clubhouse about Toronto having a ceiling because one thing that we can't do in our own city is perform in Toronto. What do you think we can do to change that? Because I know, like in Atlanta, even in the Bronx and all these different places where shit gets crazy, those guys can still at least perform even at a local venue, even if it gets crazy. But we can't do that over here.
Um, yo, that's such a good point. I'm gonna tell you why it's a good point because when you kind of flush out the business model of the music industry, performing and shows is such a big part of it. Of course, streaming, of course, people talking about it, the media. But if there's no shows, and I'm gonna compare it to kind of what's going on in New York. This is why Atlanta's been thriving. This is why even now during the pandemic, you're seeing places like New York. Like all right, I'll use Bronx or Brooklyn drill as an example. in New York, shows are pretty much shut down unless it's like big artists coming through big venues. You know what I mean? They're not, like it's thriving online. Like, oh, they're doing Brooklyn drill, Bronx drill. They're not performing. They're not doing shows really. You know what I mean? It's like once in a while, right? Obviously, when it comes to Toronto, from what I see, this it makes it more complicated because it looks like it's like a politics thing. Like when I mean politics, like y'all government is really on some restrict. I don't know what they got going on,
Well,
but
it's a lot more strict up here than the
Yeah,
states. Like, there's no messing about. The gun laws are way stricter. We don't have people walking around buying guns from Canadian Tire up here or Walmart for that matter down there. So I feel like it's just there's more nonsense policy with the police up here than it's a lot more laxed as we see down the border as you see all your shootings and
yeah,
whatnot,
and I'm
which
not,
is
I'm not
for
even
better or
talking
for
about.
worse.
I'm not even talking. Well, I mean, maybe the factors that probably affect New York because what I'm saying is New York is having concerts, right? It's just I think they're smart enough to not let, or not smart enough, but they're trying to be savvy enough to try to not let the people who they think are going to be violent have concerts. I just think when it comes to like Canada as a whole, like with that COVID shit, the COVID shit is preventing they're way more lax over here in terms of like what you could do. Like even with COVID, like you go to Florida, nobody wear masks, everything is open. Atlanta, like strip clubs, full contact, nobody cares about nothing called COVID. You get me? Like in New York, they're a little bit more restrictive, but you know what I mean. There's
But but
still
but as you see, there's so much more room for opportunity just from what you're explaining. Like there's here, there's there.
exactly.
In Canada, there's one place. Like we're not gonna fly out to Edmonton and have a show, or we're not gonna fly out to Alberta and have a show, or like maybe if you're very popping, such as Press or the top guys in the city, you're gonna fly out to Vancouver, maybe have a show in Montreal. But that's it for us. Those are three cities. You know what I mean? It's not a lot to work with. And so that's why I feel like a lot of the artists in this chat are frustrated because they only have so much room to wiggle. So when we sit here and you listen to you talk about this opportunity in the strip club there in Miami, yada yada, you just named 10 times more opportunity than we already have in Canada. You know what I mean? So it's a little frustrating for the artists in this chat, and I get that, and I feel like that's why they're asking you so much. So just
Yeah, no, no, I'll even bring it to another level too. Like let me tell you this. Sometimes when people don't understand cultures, one thing they understand is like most people are dick riders. People understand a wave. Like nobody wants to feel like they're being left out. And the visualization of seeing that like the music y'all are making translate into dope ass concerts is what will help the music start accelerating and catching on. You know what I mean? Again, it doesn't seem like it. Like again, if you're tapped in, you're like, yo, this shit is the wave. This shit is hot. This shit is like, yo, this is the vibe. But for somebody who's like, which this is the majority of music fans, they just want to go with the crowd. When when they see the concerts, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit. Or when they see like, oh shit, look at so and so just selling out. Even if it's just it could be a party in this hood or shit this show or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? That visualization goes a long way to letting people know like, yo, this is an actual wave that you probably got to get invested in. So I think that's what's probably you know what I mean. It's robbing the Toronto scene a little bit of you know that opportunity to like excel and like accelerate because I'm telling you when like I remember a lot of times when I was trying to check out like what I mean different genre or music from different places, where people like yo, like so and so artists. And I remember when I first just got put up on Jacksonville artists and shit like that. You know what I mean? And like I've been to Jacksonville a couple times, but like the Jacksonville artists they mentioned, I never really heard about too much. And then me
mm.
trying to kind of catch on to like the wave they had there, man, when I saw the energy they had at the show, I'm like, oh, this is a real fucking thing. This is a movement. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, I think that's definitely necessary. I just don't know how Toronto as a whole could kind of get around that because it's
Well, we
necessary.
we
But
we kind of saw you back in the summer. You kind of hosted a couple Twitch events that were quite good, or for better or for worse, for the city. Do you see yourself maybe doing that again to try and put up a spotlight on the city in the sense of maybe hosting some Twitch events going into the new year with strictly Toronto artists and getting some more dialogue, such as we're doing here. But as we know, you have much bigger platform. Is that something you could set up for the Toronto artists? I know you and Six Buzz got that going last time, but in terms of the New Year's, that's something you could.
No, thank you. I'm still driving.
No, of course not. As I said, man, I'm a supporter of I'm just a supporter of the Toronto music scene, man. You know, again, listen, I'm cool with a bunch of people, but I'm not. You know, I try as best as I can. I'm not trying to pick no side or nothing like that. You know, I've realized it's very complicated politics, but I love it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that every time I've ever hosted it's not like a chore. You know what I mean? It's something like I enjoy. I just feel like, you know what I mean? I always tell people, right? It's like, yeah, like I happen to be one of the biggest platforms when it comes to like hip hop, but I grew up in Jamaica. I grew up on dancehall. I grew up on, you know what I mean, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, Vibes Cartel, Movado, you know what I mean, Alkaline now, like all these artists, which, again, maybe my platform, which people they'll come to because they want to see Young Boy and Little Baby, but that doesn't mean
Mm,
me as a
hmm.
person, I don't enjoy these other artists. And without trying to like, just completely just like, torpedo my platform at any opportunity that I could get to post about like whether it's a Jamaican artist, because that's a personal thing for me. And when
Hmm.
I'm saying that I support like, the Toronto music scene is like as whenever I could do something for, that shines a light just specifically towards the Toronto music scene, of course I want to do it. You know what I mean? So like, I was glad that my audience just like in general just like they just fucked with like just all the different personalities and all the different stories of all the people and the artists from Toronto, and they loved it. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, because a lot of times what people don't realize, like if you seen when I posted the songs I listen to, and again, my platform has to kind of represent the people more than just my personal taste. But if you see when I posted my personal list and what I listen to in this and third, like for example, Dancehall was one of them that's huge on up there, right? So I'm listening to, I think there's like 3 Alkaline songs, 2 Vibes Cartel songs
Hmm.
up in my list. But then also, I think like number 3 or 4, I think I had like Press's song up there. You know what I mean? So again, like a lot of these things, this is what I bump when I'm in the car. You know what I mean? When I'm in the car, like I got that. I'm spinning Press on repeat. You know what I mean? I'm bumping top
Hmm.
five. You know what I mean, I'm bumping Northside Benji. You know what I mean? I'm bumping like a lot of dudes from the city. But it's a personal thing because like again, maybe it's because I'm Jamaican too, but like I love I love the culture that it's when I was in hip hop music,
No,
it's
no,
just
it makes sense. It makes sense.
you know what I
100%
mean?
what you're
Like
saying.
it's a straight trap, and like trap is like trap, but like when I'm hearing like you guys, I hear culture, and that's one thing I realized. Like I'm always just attracted to and addicted to like anything that kind of showcases culture. So yeah, so going back to the question, of course, honestly, I really want to do like man, I wish everything was opened up, and I think me and Buzz even talked about this, man. Like, yo, I want to come to the six and like do some shit like the right way, where
Hmm.
we
It
bring
was quick
everybody.
last time you were here.
And I don't know if that's a possibility. You know,
Academics Fest. Let's go.
no, man. I see. I don't even want it to be. See, that's one of the things where like I was
It's
gonna
got a
just
nice
sneak
ring
up
to
in
it,
this
no?
room because yeah, no, it's cool. But you see, here's the thing, like the one thing with like especially like the Toronto scene, I never want you guys to, and no matter if y'all look at me as a big platform or not, I don't want y'all to ever think that I'm coming in just like trying to take over the vibe. It's like I'm a spectator and a fan, so it's like I'm one of the people who like, man, like I would rather just be a supporter. I don't want to come and just throw my name on it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's just in the academics takeover. You feel me? Like
Do you have anything to say about Vlad coming to set up shop here? Because there's been some rumors of him coming to set up shop in Toronto. Do you have any?
I mean, I think that would be a good thing. The only thing I would probably say is, um, I guess it would be the more I've been involved and like, paying attention to Toronto, I realize there's a way to be productive in a way you could easily, still garner attention, but you're being destructive. So, it's one of those things where like, I'll highlight something I think Vlad does good, right? I think Vlad does a really great job of. I was watching like I'm like doing some upgrades in my studio today, and I just had something on the background, but one it was like a series of Vlad clips, and one thing he does good is like he gives the history. Like me him and Adam we've talked before, but like me and him specifically, I remember us saying this about 5 years ago. We're like, yo, like fuck what BT and VH1 and MTV are like. We're the new that. You know what I mean? Like we.
Facts, big
I
facts.
remember we
Hmm.
we said it to the T. We're like, yo. Vlad was like, yo, I'm like VH1. Like I'm gonna give people the flashbacks and give people the history of shit. And like even today, I'm watching him. I'm like, yo, he's doing interviews with some niggas that was doing like what I mean, doing some shit like before I was even like really born or leaving outside. So I was like, man, like if he came to the Toronto scene and really start putting some context to like where the music came from, because I think we're having a
Well, just
well,
to
you guys
put
have.
more preface behind what I said, there was actually Kijiji ads on the internet in Toronto of him actually setting up a physical studio here, and there was some job ads out here. So I just want to give you a little bit of background on.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on like if he's doing it like that, I think that's dope. If he's gonna like really kind of give the context of, for example, a lot of untold stories. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Yo, one of my favorite songs. It's probably on my like top like 100 songs that I played, because that's what Spotify gives you at the end of the year, like your top 100 most played songs. Man, I just found out about I found out about Bully this year. Like I've been bumping Bully like crazy. You know what I mean? And, like fortunately passed away and everything. But I'm like, man, I don't know too much about him, but I just know that these songs was hit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
even almost feel like, damn, man, I wish I knew about this earlier. But I think that's where somebody like a Vlad, like if I'm thinking Vlad's gonna do what Vlad does, Vlad's the person that's gonna interview everybody around Bully to give you the story of Bully. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
for someone like me who likes the music, I might get a different understanding of him and be like, oh shit, oh damn, this is the person behind the music, which I think that's the good part of it. You know what I mean? Um, uh, I would be hoping for the best. I would be thinking it would be things like that, just to really give more context, and honestly, that brings
Hmm.
people more into the scene too. So
Now, speaking more to yourself, at such a high level of interviewing now. There's only a few interviews I'm sure you're chasing. Now, you're at the top of the game. How close do you think you are personally to?
you know what's so funny? Yeah, I don't even think I'll get a Drake interview. I don't even. All right, the only reason I think so is like and me and him we've had conversations, but never about an interview. Um, Hip hop media, I always said it. And by the way, salute to
Wawa hoagies are made fresh just for you. Gotta have a Wawa.
all any media outlet in here, any media personality. I love all you guys. You know what I mean? Of course, salute to Friday and Chris. I see you. You know what I mean? Shit, you basically doing an interview right now. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I
like,
see that. Finally, yo, let me get that follow too. Sorry, I didn't want
Chris is finally getting his flowers, man. He's been waiting all night for this
to.
shit.
No, but
yeah,
me and Academics had an in-person interview at the rec center in 2019. Don't get it twisted. It's on my YouTube page. But I've already got an Academics interview.
yeah. So
Talk your shit.
not so like yeah. No, when it comes to like hip hop, and this is one thing that I love about, and I think this is why I fell in love with Toronto even when I went there. Like I just saw a bunch of people who, despite you know like Toronto not being the epicenter of hip hop, just not making excuses and just doing it. And
Facts.
whether it was just rapping or media wise, I'm like, I fuck with that, because I remember when people was telling me that yo, you have to do these things to get in the media game, and I was just like, yo, what? And I was just like, yo, I'm about to just be at the crib and I'm about to just fucking outwork people and I'm just gonna do some shit. So when I see like blogs blow up, whether it's Six Buzz or like Keep Six Solid, I'm like, yo, this is dope. But
Well, you said earlier in your career, I know in one of your interviews, you said don't try this shit unless you're willing to give 10 years of your life to it.
no, no, of course, no, of course, but like to really answer the question with the Drake thing is like hip hop media now, and this is why I don't try to shit on no smaller outlet. I try to bring them up because again, it can't only be me. You know, there's some people, and I don't know if maybe you guys know some people in life in certain things or whatever, they want to be the only one. Nah, like there's strength in numbers. You know what I mean? Like if you're the only one, you're called the exception. So there's really strength in numbers. Like, and for me, I represent a new type of media, a media that's not controlled by the opportunities that were given to you by these conglomerates, or like basically, like I don't even know if, it's like a lot of journalists, their come up determines their opinion, right? Like if somebody gave you a opportunity, like they're forever, like you can't criticize them. And I think these days, like, fans are creating outlets, and it's the rawest shit ever because you have no allegiance. Like, you don't have no bias. You only have the only thing you care about is like your audience, right? So again, and I'm taking mad long to answer this, but with the Drake interview, there's like a hierarchy. That's why I call it. There's a hierarchy.
There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of red tape, I'm assuming.
No, well, I don't think so. Like, I mean, Drake could just say, "I want to do an interview with you," right? And it'll just happen. But I don't put it out there, and I don't even like think about it because I know like the older media dudes, it's like that's all they like. They all talk about it. Like they all
You
talk
mean
about.
like are you referencing Drink Champs? Are you referencing Joe Budden right now?
No, well, I mean, whether it's Drink Champs, I mean, they teased it like 3 times. Like those outlets and those like media like people, like that's the validation for them. And I love Drake, and you know what I mean, like he's my favorite rapper, and I'm glad that I have a line to him that I could speak to him at times. But I'll be okay if I never interview him. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Again,
I feel you, but I do remember how excited you got when he joined your stream last year. I remember
yeah.
that. Do you remember that particular stream? And do you remember how hyped you got? I just want to bring.
No, 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 true, but that was definitely because of it was like an acknowledgement of like imagine, and I don't know who this would be for, like, say, the Toronto scene, but
Well,
like
Friday
imagine.
got a follow from Drake, so I'm sure he can speak to that, and I'm sure how he felt when he finally got that. Because I remember when Friday didn't have that follow, he made a few videos about how is Drake not fucking with the platform in the city. He got the follow. I'm still waiting on mine, but that's another story. But
Yo,
I just want
pretty
to
sure
speak.
Drake. I'm pretty sure.
Your Wheeler.
I'm pretty sure.
Just to clarify, also, he followed the business page, the We Love Hip Hop Network page, not my personal page.
Yo,
But let me ask you a rhetorical question, Act, based on the Drake interview. If Drake was to promise any media outlets an interview, based on your relationship that you've built with him so far, do you think that's something that he would like make a promise, or just something that he would just dub eventually?
I think Drake's moves very calculated, and honestly, I think he promised Joe Budden an interview. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's like whatever that fits the mood and mode he's in. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was surprised he didn't do an interview for this album. Like usually he has a lot to get off his chest. I think there's a lot of questions and things that he could talk about now, and he didn't. He still hasn't spoken. So I think he's moving very calculated. Um, and I think whenever he moves to do an interview, it's usually at that moment, like he's gonna pick whatever that's best for him. So, like, I wouldn't even if he said, "Yo, listen, yo, bro, we're gonna do an interview at one point." I wouldn't take anything of it. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, of course, I'll be excited, but like, yo, I met Elliot Wilson the other day, right? I met him at the salute to Rick Ross. I met him at the Dolphin Stadium, and in Rick Ross's like little box suite, and I said to him, I'm like, yo, I hope you guys, because like in conversation with them is like they're older journalists who are much more accomplished, and it's like I could tell they're waiting for the next Jay-Z interview. They're waiting for like they interviewed Drake before. They're waiting for the next one. You know what I mean? I've never interviewed Drake. You know what I mean? And it's like for them, it's like almost a thing. And if you know anything about journalists, and this is why I have respect for them. I have respect for that hierarchy because if you know like say Angie Martinez and Angie Martinez and Jay Z. And this is to any rapper in here. The further,
Yo,
if you really want to go far in your career, pick one journalist you fuck with. Pick one. Just pick. It don't got to be the favorite one. Just pick one. And that journalist, as you go along, you help that journalist and have them help you, because a lot of artists don't have PRs. A lot of artists don't really have the systems in place that you're not looking crazy on the blogs. That that in the moments you need to be hot to sell records. Like a lot of times people don't. These days is about using each other. You know what I mean? People don't really know how to like cultivate relationships. But if you really think about it, over time, like, and I remember someone called Steve Stout called
yo,
me one time, and I remember he said, "Yo, act. You know the reason why they can't fuck with you, and the reason why like you're forever in it, like you're embedded into where hip hop is." He's
yo,
like,
act,
"Go ahead.
yo, act.
Who that?"
Yo, listen, yo, this is Emoji. The reason I can't fuck with you first started this shit, this fucking little interview shit, or fucking, you know what I mean? Chicago, whatever, Toronto, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Fucking hip hop, fucking, you know what I mean? Study shit, whatever you want to call it. But yo, listen though, I'm about to punch out. Shout out everyone in the city doing this thing, you know what I mean? Shout out everyone in Toronto making music, making the city look great, you know what I mean? Shout out Keep Six Solid, you feel me? For putting this chat together, you feel me? Shout out everyone making their music, you feel me? And yo, listen, I'm about to be doing some interviews soon, so you don't know. Where's Friday at? Friday's in here.
What up?
Yo,
Tap in, yo. Let's
Moji.
get it. Let's get it popping.
Oh,
I'll
I think
holla
he's
at you.
gone.
I didn't even know he was there.
Moji's on
Classic
big call.
Moji. Classic Moji.
AK, the hunger's different in Toronto, man. The hunger's different.
Because we've been waiting for so long for a spotlight, and I feel like that first spotlight came when you did that little live on your Twitch, and we just want a little more. And you made a visit in 2019, and I'm sure when all this COVID shit's over, we'll sort of visit out again. But yeah, Lucas is right. The hunger is.
Nah, man, like you can be popping in Toronto and like you ain't really making money. Like it's a small market. Like I was saying this with Bundog the other day. Like I know motherfuckers want Juno's taking a bus. Like there ain't no bread here. You know what I'm saying? So like we have to focus on, expanding out of the city and looking in, breaking in America, Europe, etc. You know what I'm saying? So, we're just looking at how we build this bridge and keeping it moving.
Yeah, and we view you as one of those outlets. So any advice you share is great.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, I just feel like you guys are on the right wave. You know what I mean? I think you have the right people looking at you. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100. And I don't want to take credit, but I felt like especially after those streams, I seen like whether it's outlets like No Jumper or whoever else, they started like saying, "Oh, this artist is hot." They started to get interviews going on, which that's the overall goal. And and I think it'll be up to the point where it's just about the music. Then you know what I mean? Like there's gonna be songs that y'all have that is gonna bubble out, and those are the songs that's just gonna run. So I mean, like as much as like even sometimes y'all say like I gave y'all a look or whatever the case is, I feel like y'all were already there. Like you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Like I feel
Well,
like
inside looking out, I feel like a lot of people would disagree just with that saying because it feels like we've only had two or three people make it out of the crab in the bucket kind of system, which would be Preston and Smiley right now, and we're still waiting for a few others. So we appreciate that comment, but I feel like a lot of people sitting on the stage is like, bro, your first look in the summer was greatly appreciated, and that's the most we've had in a long time.
yeah, nah. I really think this next year is gonna feel different in terms of what it means to be like hot in the city, and then what does that translate to outside of the city. I just feel like there's additional eyes on y'all. So that.
Now, when you said that, are you insinuating you've heard stuff in different labels in US saying that, or are you just saying that in the sense that you
No, 100%. Like I mean, like there's labels. Look at, hey, you have to realize, right? Like it's not that much of a stretch that label like I believe labels probably are trying to either sign. Okay, I'll say this in short. What comes across my desk in terms of marketing, right? Because I do marketing. I work with every label when it comes to marketing, right? Right around the time where I even did those streams, every label came to me with a Toronto artist that they were looking at. And the
Can we
question,
name some names here? Can we or no? I'm sorry. I
I'm,
just a lot of
I'm,
people just heard that.
I'd rather not say because I don't know the nature of their business, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, the question that they were having, and I always tell people this: labels are horrible at marketing, right? The question they had in the conversation, like I had with all of them, they were like, "Hey, so how do we market a guy like this?" Because you know what, they don't understand the culture, right? So they only could understand if there's a hot song. So if there's a hot song, it's easy to market, right? But if they don't understand the culture, like for example, if it's an Atlanta artist, they know how to market them, right? Okay, cool. Let's get a
Hmm.
person, this person. Okay, it's gonna be some. Let's get him a song that's gonna move in the strip club. Like there's kind of like a marketing, like almost like template. But then I think there was a question and a lot of questions of okay, so how do we market these guys who are coming from Toronto, and is it a thing where we play off the Drake thing, or is it a thing that we just kind of play off their sound? Is it a thing we play off the difference in their culture, as opposed to, for example, like Atlanta culture? And I think, and I had
What
those
was your
conversations
response to that?
again.
What was your response to that? Like they asked you that, and then you said what?
Well, I mean, they got to get to know the actual culture. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times when it comes to marketing, they want the easy answer. Like for example. Take a Nardo Wick, take a K Flock, take whoever who blows up, and a label. The first thing they think is, okay, so how do we get this guy to be a mainstream artist? Not understanding what that artist is, and that, hey, maybe their music, at like, you can't just remove them from doing the music they're doing and just put them to some cookie cutter shit. You know what I mean? And you gotta
Mm.
let it play out. So one of the things is like you gotta understand their culture and understand the path they're going on, and then also be patient. You might have to wait till you know you gotta wait. You might have to. You can't just grab an artist from Toronto, just throw them in LA with a bunch of like people and be like, okay, cool. They got a song that sounds like Atlanta, but we got a couple good features on it. It's gonna go. No, you might have to wait for like an attachments or some shit. You know what I mean? You gotta wait for something that sounds like kind of authentic to, what I mean, where that person's even from. So that was the advice I gave. But what that told me is that there were clearly eyes, at least from
In the
a,
city.
of course, 100%. And I think if you ask all the artists, if they're all gonna be honest, I don't know if they would, they would probably also admit that there were more opportunities in terms of like people hitting them up, like, yo, hey, listen, let's take a meeting or whatever the case is. Like 100%.
That's a
Yeah,
fact
facts.
because there's a whole bunch of even the Canadian versions of the labels, Sony, Universal, all these different places who have signed guys from over here, as well as the American versions, but it just doesn't always work out.
Hey, I'll even give you. This little. I won't say too much, but I'll give you this joke. It's the first time, and I've dealt with the Canadian version of, like, as I said, I like, part of what I do is we do marketing, so we talk to pretty much every label. We talk to the UK leg of certain labels, the Canadian leg. We even talk to even the, like, African, portion that usually deals with Afro beats or whatever. Um, and I remember talking to, there's this rep that's, I won't say what label, but she's a rep on the Canadian side for this label. And she hits me up and she's like, "Yo, they finally just gave us a fucking budget to like promote like some of our Canadian artists." And I'm like, "Oh, that's dope." But before they were like, "Yo,
Wow.
they had us doing marketing."
Finally, he said.
Yeah, but do you see how like pathetic that sounds to us? We're like, finally, bro, we've had talent for all this time, and now like finally they're looking over with their telescope kind of deal, you know?
No, no, you're 100% right about that. 100% right. But like, it's one of those things where like, yeah, at least it happened, But
I understand you.
that's to show you that like at least things have changed a little bit, and at least like eyeballs are like, what I mean. At least on an industry level are saying, yo, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, no, I've done the label runs in the U.S., man. They're super tapped in.
Do you see yourself ever creating a top 10 list out of Toronto act? I know Friday had a go at it and maybe he regrets it, but do you ever see yourself kind of diving in and maybe making a top 10 list? I know that would probably make shine a lot
Mm.
of light on the city, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't get as much heat from it because you're not from the city, like credit Friday for giving a crack at it, you know what I mean? But you know how that went. So I feel like if you did it, like there'd be a lot less to say from the city and more in the sense that it'd be like, damn man, like fuck, hey, these are the people the people in the U.S. be like, these are the people I'm gonna try and find for new artists and kind of start listening to. Do you see yourself doing that maybe in 2022 to help us out, throw us a bone?
Now, listen, you got to stop using this throw us a bone thing. Like, listen, I don't ever look like
Yeah,
I'm
bro, you're
throwing you
making the
guys a
man
bone.
them sound
What?
so
All
desi,
right,
bro.
Yeah, why you
Like
don't
we're
make it sound
begging or
bag,
some
fam?
shit. Yo, why you making it seem like we're begging or some shit is in this bitch, my nigga? We're
All
not begging, my
right,
nigga.
my
My
bad,
nigga.
my
Bro,
bad.
Roadrunner, get at him,
nah, bro.
bro.
My nigga, this is Toronto, my nigga. Yo, my nigga, listen, my nigga. Yo, everyone needs to just stop fucking being like, oh my god, yo, this needs to pay attention. Yo, just make hits, my nigga. Pressa did it. Smiley did it. Stop making excuses, my nigga. Go make a hit, bro.
Facts.
That's
Fair
it,
enough,
bro.
fair enough.
Stop
Like
fucking
Chris here, don't make us
complaining.
look bad, Cronan. What the
Yeah,
fuck,
Chris,
fam?
don't make us look beg, my nigga. Making us
Not
look
beg,
beg.
fam.
Throw us a bone. My nigga, you not from
You
Toronto,
see
my
how
nigga.
this
What
went
the
for
fuck?
Gotta
What
remember
me?
makes
when I
you
was
think you
bag.
all from Toronto,
hey,
my
All
nigga?
right, sorry
if I
guys,
if
my
I
Yeah,
bad,
throw us
my
a bone.
Ask for
Nah,
yo
permission
bro.
before you
in
use
Yo,
those
terms
nah,
things.
bro. It's only because he's not from Toronto. That's why we understand. We understand. We understand. We get it. Because he's from Montreal. Maybe they won't let that over there. But nah, my nigga. We're not
Oh,
throwing no
no.
bones over here. We're working, my nigga. That's it. Toronto, we just stay working. That's it. Everybody just drop hits. That's it. No needs to, no handouts or nothing. Everybody just go get it. That's it.
Gang shit.
Simple
What
shit.
a lot of
Niggas
people
know
don't
how we
realize.
rocking. Public service announcement. It's your boy
Grrrr.
Talent Pin 2 times. Yo, DJ Academics who asked who's the hottest nigga in the city. Nobody said my name. All you niggas is disrespectful. Come on now. You guys know who's the hottest, man. Yo, Academics. Search out my new track.
Send this guy to the gulag.
send this guy to the gulag.
Send him to the gooey.
I will answer that though. Like in terms of like a list, yo, if if I was to put out a list, it would like number one, I just wouldn't be arrogant enough to just sit here and just be like, "Yo, these are the mans I listen to." So this, nah. So if it was gonna be like that, it would be like how how Double XL do they shit. So I would probably be like, "Yo, listen, let's just get a fucking committee, Six Buzz Friday, Keep Six out, just get a bunch of people really from the city and like, yo, it could be we just put it all into one, like a bunch of votes." But that's the only way I would put out a list. I wouldn't just put out a list on like personal base. I still think I'm learning. So the ramifications of me putting out a list while not being like an expert is like what I mean. It's gonna be a slap in the face of people who really doing it who might get left out. So if anything, I would just extend the platform to everybody who and that is voted up type shit. And yeah, that would be academics list that's contributed by y'all. But at least I could put it out to a bigger audience. But you know, I heard Friday put out a list of getting on his ass, man. Yo,
Yeah,
Friday, you left
Friday
Casper
put some
off the list.
random up in there.
Makes
My
sense,
list is
still.
solid, yo.
Yo,
Friday
this
put
is
Kobe
blessed. Well, yo, Casper should have been in there. That Casper should have been in there. But
Yo,
yeah,
there was
2022. Don't worry.
there's some people on there that you open my eyes to still. Shout out you for it.
You see, the
like
thing is with
Toby, a lot.
lists, it's just all about pressing send.
Toby.
It's,
No,
It's
not
Yeah,
never
don't
gonna
Toby.
worry.
be
Friday's back.
But if you have the guts to press send and then put your opinion out there for the people to judge you or whatever, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't listen to everybody's music on the list, but like I said, I'm going based on impact, based on the amount of like people who are fucking with their shit. You know what I'm saying? And like the different accolades they got. If I was to go off my personal opinion, there'd be a lot of 30 plus and 40-year-olds in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's irresponsible.
And by the way, and I'm gonna shout out Buzz for this because really, when we did the whole Twitch thing, and he said, "Yo, Ack, I'm gonna get the hot artists in here, and we're gonna do it." He put me onto a lot of people too. So shout out to Roadrunner,
Mm-hmm.
Honcho, AR Paisley. Like honestly, like
Yeah.
I got into all y'all music really because of the stream and shit. Y'all were telling me live like, "Yo, play this song," and then after the stream, I started like start real pre you guys music and shit. So that's just dope. And even Boondog, I met that nigga in person, man. Yo, Boondog, man, you here?
He's here. Nah. Yeah, no, that those Twitch streams definitely helped us as a city, as a whole.
Yo, just tell Buzz to set another one up, man. That's what we got to do. Where's that nigga Buzz at? He
Yeah,
dipped?
facts.
Yeah, he's not in here no more.
You know what though? I feel like even after those Twitch streams, like man's got more competitive in a good way.
That's good though.
Yeah. So we
But he's saying there's a lot of artists in here. You can get familiar with some in here too. My name is Sheriff. What are you saying? You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I don't know how
Actually
to
something
use
big for the city.
Clubhouse like that, but yo, keep six like throw a couple of their music up on that top screen thing that I could like click it.
I can't lie. Keep Six is a golden.
Shout out to Keep Six Solid, man, for
Yeah,
bringing
go
it
check
together. You know what
go
I'm
check
saying?
out
bro,
that
still.
Bushman. Go check out that Bushman.
A whole lot of talent in the city. You know what I'm
Check out
saying? Keep
Bush,
Six Solid
man. There's
bringing it
fucking
in.
Shriv. He wasn't in the Twitch here. There's Money Boy. There's beer people that weren't in the Twitch here. It's Honcho. Beer people, fam.
Let's line up the next one for January, yeah?
You gotta lock
Yo,
in the right
Roadrunner,
way.
stop forgetting about me, fam. Like
Gotta
getting
lock in
asked
the
out
right
too
Yo,
many
way.
who
times,
was
bro.
that? Who was that?
724 Capo.
724 Cap was here. Black Boy Twitch is here.
You know
Everybody's
what
Yeah,
I'm
fam.
saying?
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Sam
There's a whole
G's
lot of
here.
yeah,
Fuck. Shout out all the
Sick
man.
people's in the motherfucking
Sick
cut.
people's here.
yeah.
Fuck. Jazz Cartier. Everybody. Shout out all the
Boulevard
man.
Biz, nigga. What you
Boulevard
talking
Biz
about?
is here.
Yo,
Fam.
Ak, I'm gonna tap in with you soon, yo. I'm
Fuck
I'm
Toby.
getting
Yo,
out of here,
Toby.
y'all.
We need to get
Yeah, we
Toby in
need
here
Peace
Toby.
too.
We
out,
need
yo.
Toby.
We need
Toby,
Toby.
Yo,
Let's
yo,
fucking get
yo,
Toby.
new
yo,
Sam
where's my
G's
nigga
video
Big
dropping
Big?
in
Lion.
3 days.
Big
New
shout out
Sam
to
G's video
Lucas.
dropping in
Big
three
shout out
days.
to
The
Keep Six
official
shout out
Solid.
video.
my guy Lucas. You
No
know, my
audio,
guy
Big
just
shout
Lucas
out to
been
video.
putting on for the
Academics. You know what I'm
city
saying?
too. That's a
Sick
fact.
people
Yeah.
dropping a new video January 2nd. I love all you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys later. But big shout out to Lucas. Keep Six Solid Academics. Thank you guys for even doing this for the
Done no
city.
sick.
Enough love.
Done no.
Yo,
Yeah,
Ak.
real shit. Real shit. Shout out Keep
Yo,
Six
yo,
Solid.
Ak.
Big things is going in.